the following morning. And Jeff's character has, of course, let your character know, Sean, that he's not going to be available, like I said, for a day or two. He's on a errand of a private nature, and he'll get back to you as soon as he can. Did you want to go ahead and resolve that thing, Yannick, or?
Well, okay. How do we do that?
That's up to you. How did you plan on following up?
Okay, I'm actually hoping. Let me type it down.
Okay.
Now, okay. Sean, how good are you at this approach, player's knowledge versus character's knowledge?
I'm pretty good at that.
So you would be able to roleplay your character even though your knowledge as a player is way extended.
Yes.
Because coming with my character, innocent herbalist halfling, there's a lot to not know.
Okay.
In case you do.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have a problem role playing around that. If it's gonna be easier for you guys just to talk, I was thinking maybe I can just turn off my mic for a while too, or something. But it's hard to tell when to turn it back on again. Or not my mic. Just take off my headphones, I guess. Yeah, how are you? Okay, yeah, you can just send me a little text here in the chat box when you want me to put my headphones back on. Okay, that sounds easiest.
Yeah, I personally prefer as a player not to know anything more that my character knows, right? So if there's something I didn't know, I better don't. I like it better.
Yeah, it keeps that element of surprise anyway. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, I'll just take my headphones off here for a minute. I gotta find my magic book anyway while while you guys are talking.
All right, we'll make it quick.
Okay.
Okay. By the whole procedure I did, I actually am shooting for two things. First, most of people know that I'm the local herbalist, right?
Right.
Second, I brought the guy to the inn, and I expressed my concern about his health, right? And third, people know that these people were poisoned.
Right.
So basically, I was expecting, but it's totally up to you, that someone actually gives me notice in case something bad happens to the guy.
Right. Okay. So I made the rolls just before we started, and you actually are notified. What happens is someone from the inn comes banging on your door early in the morning. It's got to be 4 or 5 in the morning, and when you're awakened by someone knocking rather loudly at your door.
Let me do a quick count. So it's like 6 hours or 7 hours after I left the guy.
Yes.
7 hours. So it's 4 cycles an hour. 7 hours later would be 7 times 4, 28. So basically, he just took the last cycle of the poison.
Right.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and message Sean, I guess, since unless there's anything in particular you wanna.
No, I want to go. If there's someone banging on the door, I'm gonna open up.
Okay.
And ask what's happening.
You see, it's a scruffy little boy. You recognize him from the end. He was one of the bus boys at the Four Corners Tavern, He was like, "You have to come quick. I think something's wrong with the Duke, and I think his servant is dead."
Oh, no, really? That's bad. Let me grab some. Let me grab some of my herbs and medicines in case it wasn't the case. I hope it's not. I'm right behind you. So
Okay,
I
so
grab some stuff. Together with that, I grab another dose of belladonna just to be sure,
okay,
and and I follow the boy.
all right. Did you want to message Sean back in? Did you want to resolve this
Well,
completely?
I'm not gonna tell anyone that I just poisoned Duke. I just want to
All
confirm that
right, all
body.
right. So you
So
get
I'm
there without any incident. Like I said, it's early in the morning. There's not that many people on the streets, and you're rushed straight up to his room, and you can see that there's an older woman standing there, and you can see the servant is laid out on the table. I mean, like flat on his back, and he does not appear to be breathing. And you can see that over on the couch in the other room is the Duke, and he seems to be laid out as well, and he seems to be barely breathing, very, very weakly. It does not look like he's in good shape condition at all.
okay. So the Duke is alive.
Yes, but barely. Like I said, she seems more concerned with the condition. You can see the room has been the room. It looks like the servant knocked over all the food and the wine bottle and everything. And
Uh
Duke
huh.
looks like he got pulled from the tub. He's still
Okay.
looks like he's still wet and he's shivering, but he's barely breathing.
Okay. So I quickly check the servant to to find out his condition. He's dead, right?
Yes, he is dead.
Okay.
He
So
he
I
was an
say,
older man anyway. It probably hit his system a lot faster than it did the Duke's.
okay. So I say very sadly, unfortunately, there's nothing to be done over here, and I close the servant's eyes, and then I go check out on the Duke.
Okay. All right, you go to the Duke, and like I said, you can see he's on the couch and he's wrapped up in some towels and blankets, and he's shivering, and you can see he's obviously in very bad shape. In fact, he's not even conscious really. Like I said, he's barely breathing.
Okay. So is there someone with me?
The only people in the room are you and this older woman, and she appears
Okay.
to be, from the looks of it. Oh, I'm sorry, the little boy that came running up to get you. He's there as well, and
Okay.
already ordering him to start picking up the room and cleaning up the food that's spilled and everything and stuff. So.
Okay. I turn on the boy and I say, bring hot water immediately. Fortunately, I brought some medicine and herbs with me. There's not much hope, but we might be able to save Duke's life.
Where do you need them? Do you need me to take him out of here? Would it be better to
No,
do this
no,
somewhere
we shouldn't
else?
move. We shouldn't move him. He's in very bad condition. If we move him or if we do anything with him, we just could make it worse. Just bring the hot water so I have it as soon as possible. I can mix the herbs and I can clean his system. That's what I
All
say.
right. She grabs the boy. She goes, "You heard him. Go do it." And he goes running off. And so he comes back about 5 minutes later, and you see he's got another boy with him, and they're both carrying, sloshing around this large bucket of what looks to be very warm water. And you can see the steam rising off of it. And they set the bucket
Okay.
down right beside you.
Is there some, is there some chalice or a glass or something?
Sure, sure. You see the boy runs over to the table and he grabs one of the chalices that was on the floor. And he runs it to you.
Okay. Here's what do I do. Belladonna is a plant. I
Right.
guess that I have it dried, right?
Right. I assume
Some
some
of it.
sort of powder form. Right.
Okay. So I take the warm water I put there some random herbs, which according to my knowledge shouldn't make any effect at all.
Okay.
Then I mix it with another dose of belladonna, so no one sees, because I'm messing around with a lot of kinds of herbs and a lot of kinds of sacks, right? So I'm just putting the stuff into the glass with the hot water,
Okay.
and basically then I, using my medical skills, I guess I know how to make someone drink stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's up
Okay.
to you, but it's up to you. I'm just
Hello.
saying.
Hey, there you
Hello.
are. Good to have you back,
and
Dan.
and then I just make the Duke drink it.
Okay, so you put the chalice to his lips, and he becomes he starts to voluntarily sip it once you start pouring it down. He drinks a few small swallows of it, and again, he's still not in very good shape, and you do notice after 10-15 minutes or so,
Well,
his breathing becomes shallower.
as I'm giving him the stuff, I just keep twisting my head, and I keep saying, "There's not much hope, but let's hope he's gonna make it." Oh dear, that was bad. I haven't. This sickness from the ship was worse than I thought. It's all my fault, and I put the dose in him as much as I can.
As you're giving him the rest of what's in the glass, um, he starts to cough a little, and you can hear someone walking down the hallway, and he says, "Are you in here, dear?" And you see the older man that you met earlier, the one carrying the ledger around from the tavern. He says, "Oh, there you are." It's the owner of the Four Corners, and he kind of peeks in and takes a few steps in, and as he's
Yes,
looking
yes,
around.
fast as I could. I came as fast as I could, and now I gave. Uh, there's unfortunately there's nothing much to do for his servant, but I'm trying to save Duke's life. So now I gave him the medicine. Now you should put him in a bed, and he should be. There's not much hope. I'm terribly sorry. Maybe I am late, but there should, you should put him in a bed and just let him rest, and hopefully he's gonna get better. Now I need to go to the infirmary, because there might be other people that actually are going through the same thing. So if you excuse me, I'll be going.
Oh yes, yes, yes. You see, the woman picks him up quite easily and takes him off and walks out towards the back of the room, and you can hear a door opening and closing as she's settling him into the bed. And
Okay. Well, I pack all my stuff into my bag. I don't leave anything of what I brought. I even take the chalice I used.
okay,
I'm like acting like in a hurry. I'm just grabbing stuff and putting it into my bag, and then I leave.
okay, good deal. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let Sean know he's
Yeah.
good to go. So can you hear us okay, Dan? Uh-oh. I can see him, but I can't. Oh,
What?
there you are. I was wondering if you could hear us okay.
What?
Can you hear us, Dan? Sounds like you can't.
Hmm. If you can hear us, Dan, let us know. Yeah. Well, we're waiting to hear back from Dan.
Okay.
I guess we'll go ahead and jump to you, Sean. So
Okay. So Yannick has run off
yes,
without explanation.
without explanation, a large medicine bag tucked under his arm, and he's running off to the infirmary. I'll say you guys pass each other on the streets, and he updates you on what's been going on quickly. And we'll say he's been updated. You have been updated anyway, previous day, but you're passing for the first time this morning.
Okay. Were we supposed to meet at the ship, or did we have a plan for this morning?
Dan was going to go to the ship, I believe. So you know what? We'll say that maybe Dan left the manifest for you, and you just have to pick it up at the Four Corners Tavern.
Okay. I will go get the manifest.
It doesn't take you long to get there. The town isn't really that large to begin with, and four taverns can't really be missed. So you walk in the tavern, and you're immediately greeted by someone asking if they can help you.
Okay. And Yannick is heading out as Yvith is heading in. Where are you off to?
There was some emergency. It turned out that that the sickness or poison or whatever it was in the boat is worse than I expected. The victim, unfortunately, Duke Dreyfus, he's not in very good shape, but I gave him some herbs that should clean his system, and he should be fine and peacefully sleeping in a couple of hours. Now I'm about to visit infirmary to check out if anyone else is suffering by the same condition.
Oh, all right. I'll just go over the manifest here. Let you take care of that.
Yeah, well, you know what? Let's meet here. I'll just check out the other patients. Then I'll pick up some fresh donuts. Screw fresh donuts. They can deliver it over here for me. Let's meet here in 20 minutes. I need to make sure that that everyone else is fine or not, or what's actually happening. Barky?
Barkeep comes over. What can I get you gentlemen this morning?
I will have a full plate, double portion of fresh baked donuts and a nice coffee. Now I'm going to infirmary. I'll be back in 20 minutes.
It'll be here when you arrive. And you see she runs off, and she starts putting in the order. She comes back to the table and she takes your order. And she, by the way, this was left for you. And she hands you a looks to be a thin leather cloth, and you can feel the weight of the ledger inside there wrapped up. Your
Thank
friend
you.
Brock left it.
Good. Okay, well, I'm going to go grab myself a table. You can send me a cup of coffee, and as soon as the donuts are ready. And while you're at it, maybe I'll get some scrambled eggs and bacon and sausages and some of those blueberry muffins.
Will do. I'll have it sent over right away. And she goes rushing off.
Okay.
The place is actually pretty packed for this early in the morning. You can see mostly it's dock workers, and they're all preparing to head off for early morning. Like I said, it's still really early. The sun hasn't even come up all the way yet. It's just now starting to peek over. So So your breakfast arrives, and you untie the leather, and you see the leisure inside. You see, it's a little weather damaged, but it's not bad. For the most part, it's all very legible and understandable. You speak a lot of languages, don't you?
Not really, no. I speak Common, Goblin, and Elven. So,
Okay.
and Elven's sort of a placeholder. I think, well, there is an Elven language, so yes.
Yes, there is.
Okay. And I actually, yeah, that is a bit of a placeholder because originally I was thinking I was from the old continent. So I might just drop the Elven
Okay.
because I'm from this continent and we don't speak Elven around here. I do read Common though, and I read Goblin.
Okay.
So,
Well, common is all you need for this for the most part. There is some Elven mixed in occasionally, like in this little side notes here and there, so you can't understand the side notes. But a majority of the text is just written in simple Common. For the most part, it's just the details to the ship logs, what was in the storage, who all the passengers were, day by day activities on board the ship, that type of thing. You do notice that they stop about 2 weeks out, and then there's no more entries after that point.
Okay. Just quickly go over the. Start with. Is there a list of passengers? Is it nicely organized?
Yes, it is. It's very well organized, and you see that Grok is already circled a name on the list far down on it. It's a special note. It says, "This is our." Basically, this is a guest of the Emperor. He is to be escorted to the town of Elwood and seen to his comfort for the remainder of his life. And this is in all likeliness the supposed political prisoner that was being kept on board the ship.
Does it give a name?
Yes, it does. His name is Francis Mendoza. He's actually well known. In fact, you might have heard. Well, no, you're from here, so you wouldn't have heard from him. The captain's log does mention it, that he's surprised to see him on board his ship, but doesn't make any other personal mentions about that. I don't know if you saw that, but I posted a link to his character.
Oh, okay.
But basically, yeah, there's not the stuff on his character sheet would be public knowledge for the most part. Most people in town, you know what? Make a roll for me. You very well might have heard of him from the locals there, since you are pretty well accepted in town.
Okay, so I just rolled a 10, as you can see there. And my current affairs is 13 for the local area.
Okay, well, yeah, the name rings a bell immediately. He's known as the king's personal seer. He's very well known prophet in the sense that he's held in the king's or the emperor's high regard. He normally advises, and he's been with the king since he was, or the emperor since he was young. He's first started having these visions when he was around 12 or 13 years old, and the emperor quickly snatched him up and made him his own, and he's been with him since. But now that he's he's still relatively young. He's only in his mid-30s, and he began showing signs of early dementia, making weird, outlandish predictions and things of that sort. And the king, or the emperor, I keep saying king, the emperor decided to go ahead and retire him and make him comfortable by sending him off to Elwood. Since you rolled so well on your current affairs, however, you do know that before you left, this was coming down already. And the thing is, the predictions he had been making before he really got sick were basically stating that the Empire would crumble with the taking of this new continent. And he began rambling on and on how the Emperor's decisions to come to the new continent were wrong, and he should immediately stop and recall all the fleets. And his dementia got really bad, and that's when the Emperor made the decision to send him away.
Okay. Has this person turned up, or is he missing?
He is missing.
Okay.
If he has turned up, no one has recognized him. The people who survived are still in the infirmary. Or at least they were last night.
Right. Okay, well, I'm liberally helping myself to the donuts while I'm reading through this. I'm also flipping through the cargo manifest, see if there's anything particularly interesting and or valuable.
Most of the things on the manifest are things for Elwood stuff, such as basic survival stuff. You remember, since the town of Elwood has been established, it's only been established for roughly 2 years now. They've been relying a lot on the locals. The raids hurt them really bad in the very beginning. They finally made peace with the locals, somewhat, and have been pretty much been scraping by since then. And they really do rely on these fleets coming through for supplies. So most of it's stuff like seeds for the crops, supplies, pottery, things of that sort, linens. The first fruit went fast. You can see the prices on there and everything. As far as valuables concerned, there is an amount of money that is supposed to be added to the treasury of Elwood.
Oh.
A rather large sum that was under lock and key somewhere on board the ship. That was to be used as trading trading with the locals, as well as to breathe a little more life into the local economy. And that money is not yet accounted for.
Okay. Now, on the entries end about 2 weeks out. Taking special care going over the last couple of days of entries. See if any unusual events are noted.
Okay. As you're eating your warm, fresh donuts with your coffee, you can see Yannick the Halfling arrives, and he glances around and he sees you immediately and comes over towards the table. Yannick, you can see that the little goblin has managed to put away quite a few donuts already, but there's still plenty left. And there's fresh coffee waiting for you at the table, along with your meal. You can see he's reading over the manifest of the ship right now. In fact, it looks like he's reading over the personal log of the ship's captains.
I guess that he would help himself with some, that's why I ordered double portion. So I joined him at the table. I light up my pipe, and I'm swapping between pipe and donuts and coffee. And I almost sound like uninterested, just say casually, "So, what does it say? What stands there?"
Well, apparently there's a great deal of treasure, which was to be added to the Elwood treasury. And so far, it's unaccounted for.
So it got
Ah,
lost.
maybe it's still on board the ship, hidden somewhere. We should investigate.
Well, I don't think we got some legal powers to do some investigation.
Actually, with Dan's character, you guys would. He actually does have. You gotta think of Dan's character as sort of like a constable for hire type. So,
Uh,
and in fact, last session, when you guys spoke with the captain of the guard, um, he pretty much gave you guys permission to not only do what you thought necessary as far as searching the ship, but also with the bodies as well, to try to find out who these people were, what happened on the ship, and report back to him.
you told me that I'm pretty sure what kind of particular poison was given to these people, right?
Yes.
Uh, I quickly go through the manifest of cargo to find out if there's something that could be used as this, or if there's something that contains this kind of poison.
You go through the manifest, and from what you can see, the listings of the goods and the food supplies and stuff like that, there's nothing listed there that would set off any alarms for you.
Okay.
Sean, when you were
Smart.
going over it,
Mhm.
the last few entries, anything unusual, about the only thing really unusual reported the last few days was the captain made note of rather. The list got larger and larger every day of insubordination among the sailors themselves for laziness, sleeping in, falling asleep on the job, drunkenness at the table, um, a lot of minor offenses, but the list seemed to have gotten larger and larger over a period of 3 or 4 days, and then nothing 2 weeks.
Okay, so let's go to the boat. But just, let me just take care of something.
Oh,
So,
all right. Oh, also, there was an important passenger on board, too. We should find out what happened to him.
which
Um,
important?
his name was Francis Mendoza. He's a seer for the Emperor.
Oh, something like oracle.
Yeah, something like.
Uh-huh. I never heard about him.
Oh no,
Even
haven't
me.
you? Even I've heard of
Uh,
him. Apparently, he's out of favor with the Emperor, and he's been sent here to while out the rest of his life, I suppose.
interesting. Well, do you know how does he look like?
Yes, you do know you have a rough idea of what he looks like. Um, like Sean was saying, the public word out is that he is to be treated as royalty. He is basically been sent to retire, and he's to be treated well in his senility. He's basically he's not all there anymore, and his servants are to see him through his final days.
Okay, so let's uh, let's visit once again the infirmary to find out if he's not among those people. But I think probably he would probably introduce himself, right?
He would
And
what?
then he would introduce himself.
Yeah. Well, maybe
Uh,
according to what you know of him,
Hello.
he's not right in the mind anymore. Hey, Dan.
hey, Dan. Yeah, I don't know. From what I recall, he might not be thrilled about being recognized. As I say, he's supposed to be a little bit out of favor with the Emperor. he's supposed to be well treated, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily got to have his freedom.
Okay. What's the bartender's wife? Who of the staff is in the inn at the moment?
Say that again.
Who from the staff is in the inn?
Oh, okay. You've got a couple of barmaids waiting tables right now. The place is starting to clear out as a lot of the people that were eating breakfast are heading off to the docks or whatever jobs it is they have. And so there's only 2 barmaids. One of them's cleaning tables, and another one's taking an order off in the distance. She glances up to your table every now and then, so if you're looking to get her attention, it won't be hard.
Come over here, sweetheart.
She sees you motion to her, and she comes rushing over right away. And she tucks in a dirty rag into a little satchel she's got. And how can I help you guys? And she puts her hands on her hips.
I have very, very important mission for you.
A mission?
Yes. I hand her a random bag of herbs. I just make sure it's not the one.
Okay.
And because he already's got, I believe, enough. And I tell her, I need you to go occasionally check on our important sick visitor and mix some of these into his water, and he should be drinking a lot. Okay?
She looks at the bag. Oh, okay. She opens it up. She smells what's in the bag. I'll do that right away. She tucks it away into a pocket in her dress. Is there anything else I can get for you guys before I run off and do this?
More donuts for the road.
More donuts on the way. And as she's walking off, Dan is walking in to the tavern. If he can hear us.
Dan, can you hear us?
What?
Excellent.
Hello?
Can you hear
It
us?
gets a little pixelated sometimes when you guys talk.
Okay.
Can you read what we're typing on the side?
In Roll20, I've been trying to open it a few times, and it finally worked. But every time I try to open up Roll20, it says it's canceled.
Oh.
Well, I think we should be good so long as you can hear us for now. Hopefully we can troubleshoot that throughout the week. And get that running, get that working for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think we're going to be very map-centered. We need maps today, but so long as you can hear us okay, I think we'll be good.
Okay.
Read
Okay.
message.
All right, so Dan, as you walk in to the tavern, you can see Sean and Yannick sitting at the table. They've got a pile full of donuts in the middle of the table. They've got coffee pot. They've got some mugs around the table and fresh food and
Okay, what in the middle of the table?
big platter of donuts, fresh donuts. And
Okay.
you can see they're both reading over the captain's manifest for the ship, and they're discussing about going on board the
Okay.
ship as you approach.
Yes. Have a donut. We're thinking we need to check on a Francis Mendoza, very important passenger who is supposed to be on the ship. We should also maybe check out the ship to see if anything has been left on board.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can take the donuts with us.
And? Okay. Yeah, you got me there.
So we wanted to go see if we could find Francis Mendoza among the sick. He was sent here by the Emperor, sort of into retirement.
Okay.
Dan, does your character have any sort of current affairs skill check or skill?
I have politics.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and make a roll on that. Because there's a
Okay.
good chance that
Second.
you know exactly who Francis Mendoza is, and your character would be privy to all that.
Level 9, rolled a 9.
Excellent. Okay, so basically the information I imparted to these guys is that basically Francis Mendoza is known as a seer. He is under the employment of the Emperor and has been since he was 12 or 13. The Emperor basically adopted him at a very early age when he realized he could see, he could prophesize, and was accurate for the most part. But here recently, he seems to be suffering from early onset senile. He's not quite right there anymore in the mind anymore, and basically before he completely became for the most part incoherent, he started making predictions about the empire crumbling should they come to the new continent, and he would go on and on for however long any people would listen to him ranting and raving about how this was a horrible decision and the king should withdraw from the new continent immediately. And that was right around the time the emperor decided to go ahead and put him in early retirement and send him off to Elwood with a few hand-selected servants to see to it that he was comfortable throughout the rest of his life at Elwood.
Mm-hmm. And the guy's still at large. We haven't found him.
They have not found him yet. And since
have we searched all the dead?
No, there are still bodies to be searched. Those were delivered last night at the local cemetery. The boat hasn't really been thoroughly searched either. And far as Yannick knows that the people there in the infirmary are just now getting settled in to wherever it is they're going to be staying in Shacktown or in Four Corners or in a few other smaller inns around the area.
Actually, I was asking last time when I was doing my little when I was providing them the help and the herbs and stuff, and I was actually asking them names, right? I asked everyone what's your name and this and that, and here's some herbs for you to help you.
Oh, right. None of them mentioned that name, Francis Mendoza.
Okay. Interesting. So I say that out loud. Yeah, when I was giving the first aid, let's say, and when I was providing the help in infirmary, no one introduced himself as Mr. Mendoza. So he's not in infirmary for sure.
He was supposed to have some servants with him. There might be some of them in the infirmary.
Servants?
Servants, guards, it's not really clear.
Is it him who was supposed to be the so-called political prisoner?
Yes, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to be sure that there's no confusion.
And Dan, with your political role, your political check, reading between the lines, these servants really probably aren't servants necessarily, but they're twofold servants as well as guards to keep him in check. Before he was shipped off, before he was shipped off, he was making quite a bit of noise against the Emperor's decision to move on the new continent and to begin placing settlers there. He was dead set against it and was very vocally against it. And
Okay.
shortly after that, he began making just really outlandish, crazy statements and stuff. And the emperor uh, deemed him not basically crazy. Made public announcement that he has lost his mind. He's not quite right anymore, and that the prophesying has probably warped his sense of who he is. And he's no longer mentally healthy.
Okay. Well, let's let's make other people make the dirty work. I don't really want to search through a pile of dead bodies. I'm kinda the guy who's supposed to take care of the ones which are alive yet.
Yeah. There was quite a pile of bodies. There was 3 wagons.
And I say that as I'm chewing on donut. And let's search the ship once again, just to be sure. I don't want to get wet either.
Oh, I'll get wet. There's gold on that ship. A little bit of water wouldn't bother me. But yes, you're right. I think we could assign somebody to go through the bodies trying to find Francis Mendoza.
Yeah.
We'll go. We'll do that.
Do you think he would be wearing some signet ring or something to, because those dead people, they are full of water and all blown up and disgusting. I'd better deal with those which are still alive.
He's probably going to be wearing some sort of. He probably would be wearing some type of clothing that set him aside or make him noticeable if the body is in the pile.
Wilco.
Yeah.
Were all the dead bodies already recovered from the boat yet?
Have all the dead bodies been removed from the boat?
Oh, yes. For the most part, they believe they got them all before it got too dark last night. And they were all transported to the cemetery.
Sure.
Okay, so well, we can never be sure. How much do you trust the city guards? I mean, in a sense of being able to recognize a signet ring on one particular Mendoza.
Yeah. Well, there's a really good chance that they would have recognized it and pocketed the signal ring.
So yeah. Well, then it's our job to do it. Let's go. Let's go to the cemetery. Sweetheart, what's your name? Waitress.
She comes back. You can see it's the older woman you saw from the room upstairs. The other 2 seem to have disappeared. She goes by the name Sam. She's actually one of the co-owners of the place. So, are you guys still in here? Don't you guys have some work to do?
We are just trying to get out.
Okay. She smiles. She smiles friendly towards you. Okay, so what else can I help you guys with today?
How much do we owe you for the donuts and the coffee?
Oh, she pulls out a tab and she slides it across the table. And she's immediately starting to clear off your table, empty plates and dishes and empty mugs and stuff like that. And
well, that'd be billed to the city, right? since we're working, we're on the job for them right now.
Pretty much, yep.
Okay.
Sweet.
Start loading my pockets with donuts.
She raises an eyebrow. She says, I think you missed one.
Oh, thank you. And a refill of the coffee.
Don't forget.
Takes the mug and she walks back behind the bar, fills it, looks at you slyly, and comes back. Fresh. She hands you the mug. I expect that back, unbroken.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So she takes the tab and she goes, I'll be sure to bill this to Captain of the Guard, and she starts wiping the table down.
Okay. Shall we go?
Sure.
All right, so you guys make your way towards the cemetery. Let me see real quick. Here we go. It is to the west of town. Right there where the X is at. There's numerous little sheds all set up around there. There's not really any permanent structures. And you can see one of the wagons is parked out in front of the shed. It's already gathering a lot of crows and ravens trying to get into the shed. You can smell them before you get probably within 20 yards of the shed. You see there's a grave digger sitting off to the side a good 30 yards away. He's already covered in sweat. You can see he's already been digging. Looks like he's just been digging one big pit. He recognizes Dan right away. He says, hey, Dan.
Oh, it's one of the guards?
Yeah.
Oh. Howdy.
Take it you're here to take care of these things back in here? Well, I was under orders to not do anything with them until you guys decided what to do with them. Otherwise, I just burn them. They smell really ripe.
You got any really heavy-duty gloves?
I have a few pair. You're going to need them. He walks over to one of the other sheds and opens it up, and he comes out a few moments. He says, well, you guys are welcome to take anything you need out of here. There's some wheelbarrows, some gloves. There's some heavy aprons. Pretty much help yourself. If you guys need a hand, let me know. I'm just going to take a little break and hopefully clear the smell out of my head for a little while. You see he walks over and pulls out a pipe and lights it.
Well, I guess we better get to it. So we're looking for somebody who looks like he's rich and crazy.
Dead.
I don't think crazy comes out much in death.
Well, well, I guess we just any other rich ones we can pull aside.
And he's also supposed to be male, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll cut like half of it down.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna be looking for a well-dressed male.
All right.
If you've got any mystical symbols on his clothing, that'll help too.
Okay. So you're specifically looking for things like the Emperor's emblem and maybe a nicer cut of clothing, that type of thing.
Yeah.
You open the shed doors and the smell just hits you right away. In fact, I'm going to need health checks at negative, we'll say at -2. No, -1. It's still early in the morning. It's still relatively cold. They haven't quite warmed and ripened up just yet, so health checks -1 for everybody. The smell's pretty overwhelming.
Do, 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 do. Oh dear. No, I missed mine by 1.
By 1, not too bad. Nausea hits you right
I
away.
made mine.
For those of you who made it, you managed to swallow it down. You're okay. You pull a handkerchief over, and you're all right for the most part, breathing through your mouth. Anyone who failed it, especially only by 1, the nausea
Who could have
hits you
imagined that humans could smell any worse than they already do?
for about a couple of minutes. You have to just stand there and just compose yourself. You finally, you're able to get it under control. Keep the donuts down. I'm not quite sure you're going to be able to eat anytime soon, but you're okay after about 4 or 5 minutes and make your way in. And they just piled them up. And there's just this big mound of bodies, and you can see they're waterlogged and swollen. You don't need to be a doctor of any sort to know that these bodies have probably been dead for at least 4 or 5 days. Some of them are bursting out of their clothes. They're so waterlogged.
Huh. Were they kept in the hold?
From what you were told, the hold was taking on water, and that's where they found the bodies. In fact, the ship barely made it into dock. It was taking on water so badly. So here's where it's going to get a little messy for you guys. Health checks, the moment you start actually digging through the bodies at -4. If you fail it by more than 3, basically you're not going to be able to do the searches. And it's going to take you guys a couple of hours, probably a good portion of the morning, to search through all of the bodies. For those that do make it, there you go, 11. And then 4. Ooh,
That one's good.
that's a good one. I don't think 11 would make it. Okay. So it seems the little goblin seems to have the strongest stomach of all. Dan made his, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so oh, and Dan dropped.
Thank God.
All right, so
Why don't we just leave it to someone more competent?
he's like, I can't do this. He walks off, and he's leaving a little trail of drool and vomit along the way. You guys managed to search through a majority. Actually, a little goblin with he probably would have the soldier who offered his help earlier to help. And between the 3 of you guys, with Dan and Sean and the guard, you pull aside a few of the bodies that you suspect are probably some of his servants. You know, reading the manifest, he was traveling with 4 servants. And from the looks of it, 2 of them are amongst the bodies. You can see their clothes are finer cut. They're wearing the Emperor's ring. Once you manage to get to the fingers, you found a ring underneath. But nobody who you suspect would be whom you're looking for.
Okay. Did we find anybody who looked wealthy?
A few, but none of them wearing the emperor's mark or
Right.
his emblem, the way these
Okay.
servants were. And I say servants, but they were dressed in very fine clothes.
Okay. Um, I'm going to take one of these Emperor's rings. So we'll, for comparison.
Okay.
Also, if anybody's wearing any particularly valuable-looking jewelry, I might just liberate that too.
All right. You find enough to make it worth your time.
Okay, good enough. Um, okay, after done that, we'll go out where, I don't know, Yannick's out there
Yeah,
Yannick's out there with
sitting
the
at a fair distance waiting for us.
I'm out there sitting and waiting, and I'm just getting a little better color than I had when I left the shop.
Well, don't think we found them, but we did find a couple of bodies that were wearing this ring. So, according to the manifest, there should be another 2 guards or servants still to go. Maybe if we could find 2 guys in the infirmary who have the same ring, they can tell us a little bit more about this guy.
Interesting. Let me think about it. Alex, when I was giving the so-called first aid, do I remember if there was someone wearing this kind of
Yes,
particular?
make an IQ check for this is just a basic IQ check from a memory check.
Let me see if I have some. No. Yeah, I'm way better with gardening than remembering stuff.
Unless, of course, you have something like eidetic memory.
Success by 1.
Okay, yes, you do. You do recall seeing someone with that very ring. In fact, he was with what he. You made it. How much did you make it by? You made it by what? 1?
Mm-hmm.
He was with what he said was his uncle, his senile uncle.
Uh-huh.
And
See,
his uncle was sleeping almost the entire time you were treating the rest of them.
and I remember this so-called uncle.
Yes, you do recall the uncle. He was sleeping peacefully the entire time.
I think I know where's the person we are looking for.
Ah.
There's a guy. I just passed the message you just told me.
Okay.
There's a guy in the infirmary wearing this ring, and he claims to belong with his uncle. And he also said something about his uncle being silly or senile, or he's got some sort of disease I'm not able to cure. And I'm able to cure a lot of diseases, usually putting people on sleep. Never mind. Let's go to the infirmary.
All right, let's go check it out.
Yeah, this guy was already sleeping, so I wasn't able to help him much. Let's try.
Okay, so you guys return to the infirmary, and you check in, and you can see that there's only a few people left. About 4 people in the infirmary still, and you can see they're you can remember it's probably around lunchtime at this point, and they're they're finishing up their lunch at this point. But for the most part, it looks like everyone else has been settled into town already. You can see the one of the nurses is clearing plates and seeing to the last of the few people there.
Is that the guy I remember?
You look around the room, and you do not see him in the room, nor his uncle.
Huh.
No.
Neither of them are in the room.
I approach one of the nurses.
So, oh, Yannick, it's good to see you again. Are you here to treat these last few that we have?
Yeah, actually, I think they are getting better. There was just one who was suffering a little worse by the the whole situation. I think I'm not sure about it yet. Never mind. Hey, sweetheart, as I look upon her, because my height probably reaches her waist, right? That's a nice view. Anyway,
Yeah, she does have to look down at you, and she is a striking young woman.
uh, you remember the guy who came with his uncle, and his uncle was kind of asleep all time long?
Huh? She sits down. She goes, "You know what? Yeah, I do. That's the guy who kept hitting on me. Theodore
Wait,
was
I'm
his
not.
name.
No, you
Theodore.
cannot blame her for that. Anyway, where did she go? Where did they go?
Uh, if I remember correctly, he took a place off in West Shacktown with his uncle temporarily
West.
until they got set up with a room.
I'm living in East Sharktown actually.
I can
Okay.
give you the address if you'd like.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Just give me a moment. Um, she goes over to the nurse's desk, and you see her pull out ink and quill and some scrap of parchment, and she jots it down for you quickly and rolls it up real fast and hands it to you.
Oh, thank you.
She's, I just wanted to
You're
thank
so
you for all you did for all of these poor people over the past day. And last
it
night
was
was
my
very rough on all of them, and they were all very appreciative. And she gives you a hug and a pat on the back.
yeah, yeah, because she sees me like a little kid. Uh, yeah, I accidentally squish her boobs a little bit, and then uh, okay, yeah, actually, the, I got pretty well paid for it. Don't get into some delusions or illusions, you know. Everyone makes some living. I'm giving herbs to people. So thank you, and see you around, sweetheart.
Says, you guys take care, and thanks again.
You're welcome.
All right, so you have the address. It's actually a small, well-known inn in West Shacktown. Not quite as large or nice as Four Corners, but it's a decent enough place. Um, it's right off of the main road, and you can see that it's actually quite full right now. You can see that the place is pretty packed.
Is it on our way to stop at the Four Corners?
It is right this building right here, this long building,
Which building?
right there. I will mark it
And the Four Corners Tavern is where?
right. Oh, hold on. It's in the middle. This big one. There we go.
And we are at infirmary, which is up here. Okay.
Yeah, the infirmary is in here.
So it's not on our way, but it's actually just across the street.
Yeah.
How, how many hours it is since I attended to my patients?
Say that again.
How many hours it is since I attended to my little patient
Oh,
last?
that it has been. Let me see. It's been a good 8 hours. Yeah, remember, you were
Day?
woken up around 4 in the morning. You guys had an early breakfast, 5, 6 ish, and then y'all, as y'all looked over the manifest, and then y'all went straight to the bodies, and that took the rest of the morning. So it's roughly around a little bit after lunchtime right now. So it's around 12:30 ish.
Four cycles in an hour, nine
So
hours. Okay, let me just let you know what, Edith. Go ahead. Try to find a place. I think I know where it is. I just need to check on Duke Rifus. I was called to him in the morning. He wasn't feeling well, and I kind of feel responsible for his well-being. So I'll just go across the street to check the Four Corner Tavern, and then I'll be back. Okay.
Okay.
This area that I circled is basically in the Century Village, and the infirmary is in there.
Okay. So basically, I got to go here.
Yes, and this right here, where you just pointed, is where the Four Corners Tavern is at.
Now you can put text, right?
Okay, so, and then over here is that end where they're staying at.
Okay. So I just go to the Four Corners,
Okay,
check out what's happening over there, and then I'll go Main Street and Main Street here,
okay,
here, here, here.
gotcha. And Sean, what are you doing as he makes this detour to Four Corners?
Well, I said I'd wait for him, and I guess we're in the infirmary.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, kind of a boring place, actually. I guess I'll just basically poke around, see if there's anything interesting in here.
Okay, while you're in the infirmary, you don't really get to visit here very often, because it's basically it's like a little port within the town. It's basically a large military installation. This is where all the local city guards stay and train at. There's 6 barracks buildings. There's a large stone fort in the center, and it's got corner towers along the way. The walls are made out of wood, but the towers are made out of stone. And those are located at the corners of the block. And it's a pretty interesting place. Like I said, for the most part, it's all soldiers who live here, and this is where they train. This is where they eat. This is where they sleep. And you got to imagine this is more like a military installation type.
Okay, so I'll just, be poking around while I'm waiting.
Okay. So meanwhile, while you go to Four Corners, Yannick, you can see the place is just now winding down from lunch. There's about 4 barmaids clearing tables and waiting the last of the few people that are present. There's not a whole lot of people in there. The place gets pretty packed at lunch and then clears out pretty empties out pretty quickly afterwards. You see Samantha sees you walk in. She starts walking towards you, and she's like, "Well, I just wanted to thank you. Your help was appreciated." She did give him the stuff that you gave us, but he didn't make it. And she pats you gently on the shoulder.
Oh no. Oh, how can it be? I try so hard.
I haven't
I
really.
hate these when I fail as a healer.
You shouldn't take these things too hard. She says, "Why don't you come sit down? I'll make you some lunch, just like you like it. Have a seat." And she pulls a chair out for
Oh,
you. These things aren't your
I
fault.
don't,
You did the best you could. I wish we would have found him sooner.
oh, no, I don't feel like eating. I'm terribly sorry. I'll just take a walk
Okay,
and I'm
well,
giggling.
she pulls out a fresh towel, and she packs a couple of muffins in there for you, and grabs a fresh bottle of what looks to be some sort of spirits from the shelf behind the bar, and places it in the towel and wraps it neatly for you and ties it in a nice little bundle. So, well, here, this is on me. You don't worry about it. Thank you for everything. And please don't mention this around town just yet. we do have a waiting list on the room, and we got to clean it up, and we got to make arrangements. Business is as always, but like I said, please don't spread it around town just yet that he's passed.
Can I? Uh, can I say based on observation? She's truthful, right?
Yes, from what you know of her locally, in fact, she is known to be too honest. She
Oh,
tends to be very blunt and very honest. And from what
so
you can see, she hasn't given you any indication, unless you'd like to make a roll on it, of any sort of deception.
uh, let me see. Let's try. What do I have? Body language? No, but I got observation. No, I do observation. That's to roll for.
I think observation is like forward observer type stuff, isn't it? Like for combat
It
situations, it allows you to evaluate the situation.
uh, yeah, but let me see. Observation. Uh, Monitor location, group of people, immediate surroundings, blah blah blah. Let's gather information. Are you right? You're right.
Yeah, I think what you're looking for is more like detect lies or make even body language at a default would.
Yeah. Okay. So don't worry about it. I'll just pretend I trust her. So
She does seem, like I
I
said, she does seem pretty honest, and she does seem a little distraught by it. Um,
yeah, that's very sad. So I very sadly and slowly, using my walking stick, acting I'm almost broke down by the event.
okay, so you're yucking it up a bit, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, and I'm getting out of there as soon as possible, given how slow I walk.
Okay, not a problem. All right, so you duck out of there fairly quickly. Um, yeah.
Yeah, so I look for the goblin outside, or
Okay,
Ibis.
give me before you walk out, just give me a quick acting check.
Oh no, yeah. I feared you're gonna ask for that. Success.
Well, you did it. You're good. You got a 13. You succeed by 2. You even managed to squeeze out a little tear. She's very convinced, and you see as you're walking out, and she pats you again on the shoulder. She goes, "It's okay. Whenever you're ready to come in to eat and you're hungry, just let me know. Meal's on me tonight."
Good, thank you. I
All
need
right.
to go up. I need some fresh air. I need to get it out of my head.
All right. So you meet up with Sean on the road, or maybe at the infirmary, wherever it is you guys designated. Like it's right across the street. So, and where are you guys heading to from here?
Yeah, I don't mention anything. I just change into my normal as soon as the doors close behind me.
Okay.
Okay.
And
All right. Let's go.
let's go. Our patient is doing just fine.
All right. So you guys make it out to the front of the place, and like I said, it's nowhere near as nice as Four Corners, but it's a very well maintained place. And sorry, just give me one moment. Okay. So yeah, you guys have, by the way, have skipped lunch at this point, but you guys arrive and you can see that their late lunch rush is just finishing. Um, for the most part, the dining little area is pretty clear of anybody. So you guys make your way in, and you're immediately greeted by by a kid. He says, hey, come in, have a seat. What can I get you guys?
We come to see Thomas. Is he around?
Uh, Thomas? Oh,
Yeah.
you mean Theodore? Hey, he's around here somewhere, I think. I'll go send for him. I think he's in his room. Give me a minute. You see, he walks off, and he goes up the stairway, and he goes, and you can see the door he's knocking on. It's an open, like balcony style type walkway up there, and he's knocking on one of the room doors. A few moments later, the door opens up, and you can see someone poking their head out, and they're talking quietly. And you see he steps out onto the balcony and looks down. So who's asking after me?
Okay, it's aside to Yannick while they're talking. Is that the guy?
You recognize him, Yannick, it is.
Yep.
All right, and we'll start heading up the stairs, or I will.
Okay. You can see he's a fairly large man. Or I say man, but he looks like he might be hobgoblin-ish somewhere. You see he's got a protruding jaw just a little bit, and there's a faint tint to his skin. It's kind of hard to tell. The lighting in here is pretty bad. But again, he is a fairly large-sized man. Dressed really well. Nice cut robes. And first thing the both of you notice immediately is he is wearing a signet ring that, like the one you pulled off the other bottle.
Okay. Well, normally I'd leave this to Wilco, but since Dan's not here. So you must be Theodore.
Do I know you guys?
We're with the local constabulary.
Huh. Well,
I was giving you the medicine.
yes, that's right. I do remember you. You helped me and my uncle. Thank you. Is there something I can help you gentlemen with?
Well, let's put it this way. We already know he's not your uncle.
Is that right? Well, how about we discuss this downstairs? And see, he closes the door to his room and he locks it. Just come on. And he starts walking down the stairs.
Why would we discuss it down there where we can talk right up here?
Don't you need to take care of your uncle?
He's resting
an eye on
right
him?
now. He's resting. We can discuss this quietly and in private. It's already there.
There's too many ears.
Say that again.
There's too many ears.
Oh no! There's a private room down there. Isn't that right? And he motions to the boy down there. And he's, oh yeah. He walks off and opens up a large double doors leading off to the side. And anytime you like. And while you're at it, bring us some food and a picture of some of that fine ale you brought me for lunch earlier. Just send it to the room.
Okay. Can we have a little out of character break?
Sure.
Someone please remind me, what are we about to do with this Sir Mendoza? We are trying to get him over to the city guard.
Well, I don't know what we need to do with him specifically. It's just that he's I'd like to ask him a few questions. He's a powerful oracle, possibly crazy, possibly just politically unpopular.
Okay, but as far as some prisoner, and it's not the guy they should have. I'm guessing that this one is the one they should have. Am I right?
The
The captain of the
okay,
guard wanted to know where this man was at. First and foremost, um, but he didn't make mention whether you were supposed to bring him into custody or not. Um, but in all likeliness, he at least wanted to know where he was at.
Okay.
And anything else you wish to inquire about is your personal business. So,
Yeah, I don't have any personal business with this particular person. Yeah, okay then. Someone's copying my writings. Uh,
oh, I am. I'm labeling the place.
yeah, but you're like
okay, that's not the infirmary though, is it?
no, infirmary is up here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Good.
Okay.
So yeah, well, does he look like? How did he react on the fact that that we know blah blah?
Do either one of you have any sort of detect lies or body language skills?
Just
Yeah, it was a
observe.
plan.
Otherwise, just make a general IQ check. It won't give you as
Okay.
much detail as those other skills will, but it'll give you a very general observation check.
Yeah, I do have observation, which is supposed to be of some use and that sort of thing.
No, it's not. My mistake.
No. Okay.
Yeah, observation is more like a combat ready type skill. How many exits are in the room? How low are the windows? How thick are the doors? You know, that kind of thing. Is there a fire escape outside the window?
Okay.
It's like a Jason Bourne escape route type skill.
Okay. So I got my IQ dead on then.
Okay, you can see he looks a little uncomfortable. He looked a little uncomfortable when you did mention that you knew that he wasn't his uncle. Maybe uncomfortable or maybe perturbed. You're not quite sure which.
Okay. What about my success by 7?
Oh, that's right. You rolled a 5 there.
Right. Yeah.
You know that he really doesn't want word getting out. He really wants to keep this quiet. The moment you mention it, he immediately he glanced around real quick to see who all was in the room.
Possible hostileness.
Say that again.
If he looked like he got angry.
Oh, it looked like he got angry, but in combination with the fervent glance around the room he gave, he really is more of concern. He does not want anyone knowing who the man is that he has.
Okay, before we start following him, I say, wasn't there 4 of you taking care of your uncle?
Yes, there was 4 of us taking care of my uncle. Unfortunately, I don't think the other 2 survived the sickness that seems to be plaguing our ship.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you got lucky.
That still leaves one other nephew.
Yeah, he's nephew. That's right. He's in the room with my uncle.
Well, then the best place to discuss is actually in the room.
All right, come on. He motions downstairs from the balcony. Hey, send that food and ale up to my room. He goes and knocks on the door, and you can hear someone muffled through the door, and the door opens quietly. You see the room is pretty small. Um, there is someone laid out in the bed. It's not an old. He's not old at all. He's probably mid-30s. Sean, you recognize him immediately since you're familiar with the man.
Okay.
And there is another. Oh, there he is. You with us, Dan?
Well,
I'm not sure he can hear us. Let's see.
Hello.
There you are.
Hey, Dan.
So, Dan, they finally tracked down.
The dead bodies.
Yeah, we went through the dead bodies, and we found two that looked like they were guards for Francis Mendoza. And using a ring that they both had on them, we've tracked down the other two guards who are still alive, and we're in an inn with them, and they are taking care of Francis Mendoza, but they're saying that he's their uncle.
Yep, that's what happened. Nothing important happened.
Ah.
No one died yet.
Alright, so. Alright. I'm gonna assume he can't hear us.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did mention he's got that big storm over passing, and he's relying on satellite internet connection, so. Alright, well.
Yeah, he's gone already, and we just see him still in the hangar.
With that. Oh. And he's back.
So can you hear us any better now?
Olivia, that's too loud.
Guess not. Oh, I saw
Back.
bump on his audio. There you are.
Yeah. Good.
Cool. Okay. So, so Dan, I don't know how much you caught of that, but basically they went through the bodies, found two of the servants of the political prisoner guy, managed to track down two other surviving servants, and found the political prisoner guy with his two servants staying at a smaller inn out just over in West Shacktown.
Yeah.
And that's where they're currently at. So what I will do is I will simply say that they imparted to you where they were going, and you met them there, or you were on your way there, and as you arrive, you see them going into the room up the stairs.
Okay. Do we have any magic users in our group?
Yes. Yeah, I know a few spells.
Could you find out if these two guards are under control from the seer, to see if why they're pretending to be cousins to the seer?
So are we in the room with them or not?
Yes, you're walking into the room. You're walking into the room, and as you're walking into the room, Dan is walking into the inn and sees all of you going into the room
Okay.
from the balcony. I don't actually have a map for this, but I'll sketch it out real fast. Move you guys over to a blank page. And he said it's not a large room. There's a bed over here.
Put some tokens.
You know, I do have tokens. Give me just a sec. Let's see, we got a goblin. All of these goblins are armed, of course. There's a goblin. Halfling. Oh, look at that. I think that one's even your character illustration. I don't think we're really going to need to go this far in detail, but anyway.
Just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah. Here's the door.
Now when you right-click the token, you can give us control over the token. So
okay.
we can.
Oh, there we go.
Where is that control setting at?
Damn it! Yeah, I would have to log up my.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it then.
This game, I don't really remember. You basically, do you have us in external? No, you don't. Okay. Basically, how you do it is you put two characters in a journal, and it doesn't have to be filled, and then you give us the control over our characters, and in a setting of the token you set that it represents the character. That's how you give players control over their tokens.
Okay.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it
I'm not
just
going to worry
now.
about it just now, so.
Just put me over here. I won't be standing by the door. Okay, now. Yeah.
Oh,
as we talked.
There we go. Control by. Haha. Okay, got it. Got to click the settings button. Sorry about that. All right. And that one is the goblin, so that's.
I got control. Okay.
Sure.
I usually do it like this.
There we go. I'm getting there. And this one is Dan.
The back one, right? So basically.
Okay, so you guys should have control of your own tokens now. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, and there's a little balcony out here. And this is the little bar down here, a little tavern with tables.
Yeah, that's fine.
Far back, there's a bar. Anyway.
This is the bed?
This is actually a table. Sorry, this is the bed. There's a pillow. And he is laid out on the bed. Okay. There's a dining table here. This is like a desk.
Uh-huh.
This right here is the desk.
Those two guys.
Okay, Dan, I do have a spell that would allow me to identify if these guys had spells cast on them, but it takes an hour to cast.
You're looking.
Yeah.
Uh, this is in. This is to. This one is to identify magical objects. What you're looking for is either aura
Hmm.
spell, which would tell you if someone is under control of some magic, or you're looking for identity spell, which you would cast on the no identity spell, the other one.
The analyze magic?
No, analyze magic. That's what you're talking about. Analyze magic takes hour to cast and it tells you enchants on items. You're looking for aura.
Okay, and I do not have aura.
Okay, good. So that answers all our questions.
Where are these two guards located?
All right, here's one of them. He's sitting down at the
The one
desk.
with the cape?
Yeah, he's sitting down at the desk. And then the other guy, he's sitting down at the table. I really hate the snap. Wish I could turn off the snap. Anyway, all right, so there. Good enough for what we're doing. There's some stairs. Okay.
What are they dressed like?
You can see that they're wearing some finely cut clothes. They're actually pretty nicely dressed. Their robes are very fine quality. Both of them are wearing the ring that identified the other two dead bodies, the other two servants. The one who was down, the one who opened the door, this guy right here, you can see that now that he's by the light in the room, he is definitely hobgoblin. Now, very fair-skinned. The other one is you can see now that he's lighting the lantern on the table there. He's elven.
Hmm.
Yep, that's him.
And the guy in the bed's a human.
Yes.
And all three of these are related.
And that's what they're telling people. Yes.
Well,
Well, you are very motley family, guys. I have to say that.
You see, the one sitting at the desk. He turns and looks at you. Goes, "We're all adopted."
Yeah.
So tell me, what is it exactly you're here to discuss with us?
I look at Ibith. Like, go ahead.
So, it's our understanding that you're supposed to report to the local authorities. What's with the uncle-nephew story?
Well, I don't know if you saw the carnage that happened on board that ship, but we were concerned for his life. So
can you tell us how that went down? The accounts are kind of confused.
well, when you find out, you can tell us, because we're not quite sure either. The last thing I remember is sitting over our dinner meal, and I'm ashamed to say I think I fell asleep at the table. And that's really about the last thing I really recall.
And your uncle, he still hasn't woken up?
He's been in and out, resting mostly. We're trying to keep him comfortable and make sure he's eating. He wakes up and eats, and for the most part, he seems to be recovering good.
Yeah, the person who poisoned you didn't really do a good job. Um, and I really carefully wait for their reaction when I say what I just said.
Oh, say that again?
I say, oh yeah, the person who poisoned you didn't really do a good job.
You suspect poisoning.
I
What
don't
would
suspect.
what makes you suspect poisoning?
Excuse me a minute, guys.
Yeah.
I investigated your water source and I was taking care of you in the infirmary. And I'm quite sure that this was not a sickness. That's what was told to the public to avoid a public panic in the town.
That's interesting. I'll have to look into that myself. Poisoning. And are you familiar with poisoning and things of that nature? I mean,
Not very more of a herbalist, and actually, it's you who's supposed to answer. So,
oh, I
what
didn't.
is
I
your
didn't. Are we in some sort of trouble? I mean, from my
well?
understanding, we're just here to simply see to my uncle's comfort in his last days.
Would you please be so kind now? Tell here our representative of City Guard, Sir Vilko, why didn't you report to the local authorities with your so-called uncle?
So, Wilco, you are the local authority. Is that correct?
Uh, is that what the cousins questioned me over?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
we were concerned for our uncle's life, of course. All things considered, and on what happened on the ship, we were afraid it might have been some sort of attempt on his life. So now, if you can send over a few guards of your own to see to his safety, we would gladly take him up to the big house over at the tavern. What is it? The Four Corners, I think, is the local place. This place seems to be
Yeah.
sufficient for now. I'm afraid if word gets out who he is, we may have an attempt on his life. If there hasn't one already been taken, I think.
Well,
What makes you think that?
I just so happen to have two guards right here with me.
Oh, well, so what would the local authority like us to do then?
Well, he's just a. I'm talking more to the. I'm just talking out loud. He's just a political prisoner that's been publicly shamed, right?
Basically, yeah, he began saying some things that disagreed with the emperor's decision to start colonizing, and this was the emperor's way of keeping him alive, but yet quieting him down by moving him away from the general public, the public eye.
So, and he's an old man.
No, 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 no. He's actually quite young. He's in his
Oh, he
mid
ain't?
thirties. He's in his mid thirties,
Oh,
but he is last reported to be senile now. He goes on crazy ravings and makes outlandish statements and just behaves weirdly now. And they believe it's early onset of some sort of mental. loss of cognitive thinking.
Well, I don't think these guys are going to turn around and take him, pigeonhole him somewhere after we leave the room. So I just tell them that, keeping him here would be pretty good. And then we go around and tell the captain of the guard that we found the prisoner and see what he wants from that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys checking up on us, and I'm impressed. I didn't expect the local authorities to be this well organized.
No, they are not. Don't get confused.
Yeah.
Now, as far as his life is concerned, Emperor's orders are very, very specific. We're to keep him alive and make sure he is safe and comfortable for however long the rest of his life may be, especially with his mental facilities not quite there anymore.
Well, let me express my little feeling here from a little half. This whole situation looks to me like you were trying to get away from local authorities and we tracked you down. Now this is all very uncomfortable for you. I don't really understand why you're doing what you're doing.
I
Your
could,
ridiculous excuse that you were concerned about his life is a big fat lie because the poisoning and the sickness on the boat affected almost everyone. No professional assassin, and this is just a common sense, please, would kill or try to kill whole crew just because he was trying to kill one person. Does it make any sense to you so far?
I could see where that conclusion could be drawn, but unless you're making any sort of official accusations, I don't think I need to comment on any of that.
I'm not making any accusations, I'm just thinking out loud.
Of course, of course.
So, why don't you, one of you, goes with the guards right now, reports where's your so-called uncle whereabouts, while we wait over here with the second one of you to make sure that your uncle doesn't wakes up and doesn't walk away.
Of course.
Buy an
I think that's perfectly acceptable. Um, I'll more than happy to go with you.
I'm the one who's staying.
Okay then.
Uh,
Let me just make sure he's seen to real quick. I need to. He gets up and goes over to the bed. And you can see him fussing over him, adjusting blankets, and sits him up a little and fluffs his pillow a bit. And you see he places the back of his hand on his forehead and seems to be taking his temperature. And okay, he's good and comfortable for now.
What he's doing with the body, with the guy.
Say that again.
I observe very carefully what is he doing while he's attending to the uncle.
Okay. Make a IQ check. This is a perception check. In fact, everyone can. Yannick will get a +2 to this check.
You said perception?
Yes, everybody make a perception check, and Yannick, you get a +2 since you were making a willful decision to
Okay, so
pay close
success-
attention.
Success by 4 plus 2, success by 6.
Okay.
ooh. I made it by 5.
Oh wow. Okay. So all of you do notice that as he's checking his forehead, and you see he grabs a damp rag to kind of wipe the sweat off his forehead, and you can see that he he has something that looks like in his sleeve, and he kind of pulls it. He kind of pulls it out of his sleeve, and it looks like a little cloth packet. And as he's daubing at the man's forehead, he squeezes it a little bit, and you can see what looks like a little droplets of some sort of fluid is rubbed on the man's forehead as he's doing this, and he goes like checks his temperature on his forehead, and whatever it was, he just rubbed it all over this man's forehead, and he is wearing a gloved hand. Or he does have gloves on his hands, so whatever it was didn't get on his hands, but it definitely got rubbed into the skin of this man.
Okay, I know you said at the beginning of the session you want to avoid combat.
Combat isn't necessarily trying to avoid combat doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to be unavoidable.
Okay, because when I see that, I expect we are not fast enough to stop him doing it. But
right, yeah, it's a quick gesture. It's like, and he just
okay, I step in the middle of the door, and as he approaches me, when he's like right in front of me, I'm gonna blow the dust in his face. You know.
Right. No, I remember. I saw it. Okay.
Which will probably cause a combat situation.
I haven't read the details to that poison, so you'll have to either post it or just tell me about it. So yeah, he walks as he finishes up what he's doing over here. He does that quickly, and he makes his way towards you, and he says, "Well, I'm ready whenever you are." And you see him, he buttons his cloak up a little more.
Okay, it's a blowing dust from blowpipe, which is +2 to hit. Okay. Since I don't suspect them that they are about to, they are not ready for combat, right?
No. This will be a surprise attack, so it's a free.
Okay, so I'm gonna. It's actually treated as melee attack, and such attack is always at +2 to hit. So I'm gonna do it like an all-out attack. So I'll get altogether +6, and I'm gonna blow it in his face because it has a respiration agent and contact agent as well. So it should take both effects when I blow it into his face.
Okay. Face is -5 to hit, so you're just at +1. But again, it's a surprise attack. He's not expecting it. So long as you, and so you're at +1. So long as you succeed the hit, it's a hit.
Okay, so let me see. My blowpipe is 15, so it would be 16 to hit him with that stuff in his face. Okay. It's a hit.
Yep, not a problem. He's still buttoning his cloak up and preparing to go out when you hit him in the face full on with this powder. You see he starts choking a little. What exactly are the effects of this, and what do I need to roll?
Let me see. It's a lacquer powder. As a contact agent, it has 10 seconds delay and HT roll to resist. He's gonna get a blistering like poison ivy, 1 point of toxic damage. And then, as a respiratory agent, it has no delay. He needs to roll his HT +4 to resist. Otherwise, he gets 1d toxic damage. In addition to that, he immediately starts coughing and sneezing, as described on page 428.
Okay, so the first health check is just for. Is it just one health check?
He's gonna be rolling 2 health checks because he got it in the face, so he's taking both effects. I put it all in the Hangout chat, so you can read it.
Oh, okay, cool.
But that's just my action at the moment. Now it's up to you how you handle the rest.
Cool. All right, so I made my first health check. Let's see. But in fact, I critically succeeded. He's reserved. Contact agents 2 seconds away. Resist. Failure causes blistering like poison ivy. 1 point of toxic damage. So this respiratory agent has no delay and health check +4 to resist. Okay, so he resists the skin contact. So now I will roll the second one, which is health +4 to resist the 1d toxic damage.
He's rolling the health the skin contact in a 10 seconds delay.
3, 6, 7, 8. So as a respiratory, it's a health check +4 to resist, so it's a bonus, so it's easier to resist. So he's coughing and hacking. So long as I roll a 14, and I rolled an 8. So he succeeds both checks, but he's still coughing, and he's still a little confused, doesn't know what's quite going on. The elf has stood up, and he starts to speak, but does anybody speak Elven?
No.
No.
No? Nobody speaks Elven? He says something and no one understands what he says, and he walks towards the sleeping man. He moves this way, and he stands in front of the body, or stands in front of the man, in front of the bed. Places his hands up, and he continues to speak.
Okay.
And this guy
I think,
takes a step back.
we need to go into combat time. or call a halt for the
This
night.
would probably be a
one or
good
the
stopping
other.
point. It's near midnight already, so. And just to make things interesting, the old man, or I say old man, sorry, the man sleeping on the bed begins to stir, and he sits up a little and kind of glazingly looks around the room. So we'll call it quits right there, and this is what we'll pick up when we do play again. All right, guys.
Okay.
So when did you guys want to play again?
Well, I'm thinking 2 weeks on Saturday.
2 weeks on Saturday, and
if that works.
Yeah, that would be on the 8th.
Yeah, okay. Does that work for you guys?
Cool. Yeah, I will definitely put the combat order, go over everybody's character sheets. I got a little cheat sheet for it, but I hadn't done it in the Roll20 yet. Yeah, I forget we got the little turn order thing on here, so. In fact, I'll go ahead and make tokens for everybody. That way we can use tokens permanently. Oh, there goes Dan. It really sucks his connections like that tonight.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a way you can cut down on the amount of bandwidth that you're using. If that would help him at all.
Yeah, I know. Jeff was showing us that you can actually crank up and crank down your bandwidth in Google Plus. I don't know if he caught that part. I'll have to run that by him.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, good session.
Yep.
Looks like we get to roll right into combat next game.
Looks that way, yes. Other than poor Dan, yeah, I hope he has better connection next time.
You still with us there, Yannick?
What was that?
I was just wondering if you were still there. I couldn't hear you there for a sec.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Cool.
I'm just wondering if I got it all right.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, well.
Hey, Dan, we were wondering maybe if you bump down your bandwidth, if that would help.
My bandwidth is low. I just keep on getting cut out because of the heavy rain.
Oh, dude, that's
right.
Sucks. Well, hopefully when we...
I have satellite internet. It doesn't pierce through rain clouds all that well.
Okay.
Cool. I think we were shooting for the 8th, Dan. I don't know if you caught that part or not.
No. Let me check with the... yeah, I could do the 8th.
Cool. All right. I'm pretty sure Jeff should be good for that too, so... He was running some dates on me last time we spoke. So sweet guys.
Okay.
Well, that'll wrap it
Okay.
up for tonight. So again, any updates you post to the site, worth bonus points and stuff like that. So oh, if anybody wanted to spend character points, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, we all got 4, right? So far.
Yes, yes. 1 bonus point for uploading your characters and 3 points for last session.
Okay.
And again, you can always do little interludes and stuff like that, like if you want to do like a little short story, like a day in the life of kind of thing. Those are going to be worth a character point as well. If you want to add more story to the world, you're more than welcome to. So
Well, I wasn't really sure if I should be putting some updates on the campaign log, since I was kind of trying to attend to one Duke, and he at the end he didn't make to survive. He didn't make it to survive. So I should be sharing this stuff with the others.
oh, gotcha. Well, the cool thing is, you can go ahead and make those posts. Just make them a GM secret kind of thing. That way, like if you've got some good
Hmm.
material, man, by all means, post it, dude. And then just make it GM secret kind of stuff. If it's stuff you don't want to share with the other players, so you
No,
can still get your character points.
yeah, but where's the fun for the others when they cannot?
Well, the cool thing is there will eventually be a reveal, right?
Eventually, yeah. I think they already think what. I think they already know.
I think there's some definite suspicions.
Oh yeah. Anyway, see you guys. It was great. I was having a lot of fun.
All right, guys.
Good. Good. Me too. Thanks, Alex.
Hey, not a problem,
See.
guys. Good game. I'll catch up with you guys later.
Okay. See you next week.
All right, bye.